So when I got permission from this landowner, he had sort of jokingly brought up like, if you have an extra deer, we'd take one.
Nice job, guys.
Hey, thank you.
The old man likes these steaks.
Great. I'm stoked. Anytime a landowner wants a deer, that's like a win-win. Thank you.
All right, God bless you here.
Have a good one. So it's way cool that they let me do this, and if they want the deer, they can have the deer.
The whitetail rut.
Let's roll.
For us, it's the big event.
That time where it all comes together, or it doesn't.
From dawn until dusk, through the highs and the lows.
All of it for a brief opportunity to cross paths with America's most pursued big game animal.
For 4 hunters in 4 different states, there's a little bit of chance and a hell of a lot of work.
That is a giant.
But it's all worth it for that 1 week in November.
We got this. Day 6. Trying to get fired up. Been a long week. Things haven't gone the way I wanted. But damn it, keeping after it. Trying to get myself psyched up. I'm going back to the thermal hub, or the rut hub. Riding it out. Something's gotta roll through there. It's the best spot I've found yet. Ride or die.
This is how you shut a door. If you're new to hunting, or if you're, maybe a Western hunter that is hunting like miles away from where you park, but when you hunt in close quarters, you drive your truck, close enough to where you're gonna hunt. You shut the door like this, and you lock it. Quick tip. Man, we don't have a ton of intel. There's not a ton of deer sign in here. There's no acorns in here. So now we're just kind of doing the old sit and trust the rut situation. That the bucks are gonna be moving.
It is 6:39, November 6th, day 6. We got about 45 minutes until shooting light, and I am out here looking for a doe. This is my last tag to fill on this trip. This is gonna be a quick hunt this morning. If they're here, they're here. If they're not, I'm not gonna stop around looking for them because I know there's other hunters in the area and I don't wanna mess something up for them. So, give this one last shot, and I hope my luck continues, and I hope those other guys' luck turns around.
I'll tell you what, the first morning of the hunt, after I passed those 2 nice bucks, I remember thinking to myself, you won't regret this. This is a good choice. First hour, the first day, you gotta wait it out. I remember saying something like, I wanna enjoy the show. The show. Well, I had no idea that the show would actually plummet downhill from there. And right about now, I'd give my left arm to get a crack at one of those 2. If I had shot one of those bucks, I'm sure I would have been happy. But I also would have probably been wondering, what if waited? You wait so long to get that Iowa tag, you think it's gonna be magical, you think it's gonna be, what you watch on TV. And it could have been, but this time it wasn't. 10:30. We haven't seen a single deer. It's deer dander time.
Yeah, that's a little buck. So I could have killed a white-tailed doe like 30 times over these last few days. And now that I'm on a mission to do that, there's not one to be found. All I've seen this morning are 3 white-tailed bucks and a muley buck. I'm sure Janis Putelis has like some smart Latvian saying for that, but I'm not even mad. I think it's funny. It's probably a good time to call it quits though.
It's 11:30. I want to give you an update. There's no update. The deer have vacated Oklahoma. It's November the 6th. Great morning, great weather. And we have not seen a deer. Pretty wild. We're sitting on a great pinch point. Great spot, proven spot. They've killed a lot of deer right here. Spencer Newhart is packing up his tent and driving home to butcher deer. He's used both his tags. Mark's still hunting. Tony is at what he thinks is a great spot that he's very excited about, a pond. Anyway, he's probably already seen, 3 or 4 150-inch plus bucks. Probably shot at them. I don't know. It must be nice being Tony Peterson. I'm delirious for lack of deer. Some people get delirious when they don't have water or food. Me and Mark Kenyon get delirious when we don't see deer. We start acting crazy. We can't be trusted. Like we say things to our family and we're like, but I haven't seen a deer in like days. And they're like, oh, okay, we get it, Dad. So, that's all.
Had a really good first 45 minutes and it slowed down quite a bit. Not too long ago, I had a doe and a fawn come down to water and go right through where I expected most of the deer on this stand to come through, and they haven't been doing it. They've been doing other stuff. But they followed the script perfectly. It's just such a gorgeous day. This is one of the coolest, most beautiful spots I've ever hung a stand. I just love it in here, other than the wind. But it just, it's November 6th. It just feels like any second. I know I keep saying that, but I'm hungry. I want to eat my lunch. I want to drink my coffee. I kind of want to sit down and chill out a little bit, but I feel like letting my guard down today is a bad idea. I've never killed a buck right in the middle of the day like this. I've probably killed them up to like 11 and then maybe again at like 2 on. But those midday deer that everybody talks about, I've seen them, but I've never killed one.
Alright. If I were Clay Newcomb, I think that I would tell you that it's no use riding a dead horse. I think that's what I'm doing here. So I'm pulling up stakes, calling an audible, and I'm gonna do something different. So I'm gonna pull down my set. I'm gonna drive back to the other property. I'm gonna scout and hang a tree stand for tomorrow morning on one of those other ridge lines where there's been some activity. And then I've got a very, very different idea for the evening hunt. But I'll get to that later. So pull down, get moving. There's a lot to do. Oh dear. I gotta get out all this stuff, man.
Man, I mean, you know, when you got a day and a half left and you're not really on deer and hadn't been all week, I guess the good news is we're bound to have some kind of good luck. I mean, and we have not had any. We've not had bad things happen. We have just been absent of good things. Aside from that fish fry last night, that was a good thing that happened to us. We're throwing away the rule books. We're throwing away the Mark Kenyon, Tony Peterson rule books. And we're going assault fashion tonight.
Didn't see a single buck this morning. So after that and a pretty slow day yesterday, I decided to bail out of that spot and get reset for a last hurrah at the second property I hunted. That's the one where I saw that big giant buck come in after dark. There's been some activity on trail camera there still. I got some friends that have been driving around the area that tagged out, and they've been glassing some fields and seeing a lot of deer still moving in that zone. So I'm gonna go back, give it a shot. Right now that means sneaking into a new spot, scouting my way in, and hanging a set for tomorrow morning. I want to hunt in a bedding area tomorrow morning on one of these ridges. I've never been in there. Well, I've been in there once in the summer, but I haven't been in there yet this fall. So I'm gonna slip in, hang a set, and after that, I'm gonna bail out, and there's a cut corn spot that I want to hunt this evening. So that's the game plan for now.
My buddy just kind of gave us a quick tour of the property in the dark. And so there's one spot over here he told us to look at we haven't been to yet. So we're going to go check it out now. Some fresh droppings under this oak. I was looking for a few acorns and some tracks dropping. See how a deer laid right there, dripped a little seed off of that.
Well, as you can see, I'm in a very different situation than I've been in all week. This is a spot that I've had in the back of my mind all this time, and I have been resisting it. When I came in, I was like, I don't want to hunt the box blind. I want to do it, in the tree, back in the woods, saddle style. And I stubbornly was above the box blind. 5-6 days later, I'm much more desperate, and I decided, you know what? I haven't been able to get them anywhere else. But this spot in this cornfield, they're still seeing deer coming out here. There's still a bunch of does coming out here. There's a bunch of bucks in this sanctuary. We were just driving around the outskirts of this area, and we spotted a giant locked on a doe, I don't know, 500 yards from here. So they're in this stuff. You gotta be where they're at.
You know, there was a buck running somewhere over here this morning before it got light out, but he never showed. Everything's concentrated on this bedding knob up here.
Meat.
I lived most of my life hunting public land, and so I don't know deer. Like, I don't name them. I don't really have like history with them. And this, I got permission to hunt this property this year, and this is the first buck I saw scouting, and I thought his eyeball was hanging out, but he's got these big warts on his side. My buddy was with me, and we named him One-Eyed Willie because we thought he had one eye. When I saw him this summer with my buddy, I said, I think I'd shoot that deer. And he said, I wouldn't shoot that deer. And now we know I'd shoot it, and we'll never know if he'd have shot it. But I'm pretty happy with this week. I killed that big 8-pointer in Minnesota. And then to come down here, and I've had so many cool encounters here, and I've learned so much about this property. Just really an education being here for the first time. So much fun. And to kill a buck like this at 1 o'clock in the middle of the day, it's just really neat. I'm pretty happy. And I'm just kind of in a state of disbelief over how this week has gone. It's been really amazing. And I just hope the other guys I know Spencer's had a great week. I know Clay and Mark have struggled a little bit. I just hope it turns out for them. They've got tonight sitting tomorrow, and then we're done. But man, I feel real lucky.
That red oak right there, 20 yards, is where the most deer sign we've found since we've been here. A lot of acorns on the ground. We're gonna sit right here. I'm gonna get that tree in between me and the red oak. I'm gonna build a blind around here and this way. And we're just gonna try to get lucky. Perfect. It's blowing my scent back into a field over here. These deer are gonna come from this way, or they're gonna come from this way. The wind's blowing my scent back into the field. It's a long shot, but we'll probably see some deer, probably spook them, but it's better than not seeing any deer.
This isn't the kind of hunting I usually like to do, where you're kind of running, gunning in the tree, and I know that just feels like you earned it a little more. I am excited, simply because I think there's a chance we can get a show tonight. All right, we got the first couple deer of the night out there already, and man, I haven't gotten that yet on this trip. It'd be nice to finally get to see some good bucks doing Iowa things. So I'm going to say the previous 6 days leading up to this have allowed me to earn the luxury of the box blind sit next to the sanctuary.
There's 7 does, a little buck, and now this spike. Down to the last 30 minutes. First real shooter buck that I've seen on the trip during daylight. A nice mature buck. Came chasing a doe up over the hill. And a couple times he turned towards the decoy and started coming my way. I thought it was on, but he didn't. I didn't want to leave that doe. So